Today's voiceover talent is more than just a pretty voice.
Pretty voice.
Today's voiceover talent has to be a boss.
A boss.
Join us each week for business owner strategies and success with your hosts Ann Ganguzza and Gabrielle Nistico, along with some of the strongest voices in our industry.
Rock your business.
Rock your business.
Rock your business.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Rock your business like a boss.
Rock your business like a boss. A VO boss.
A VO boss.
A VO boss.
Hey everyone, welcome to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Ann Ganguzza, along with my bestie, Gabby Nistico. Hey, Gabby.
Hi.
Gabby.
Yeah? Am I in trouble?
I just celebrated with one of my students the fact that they've been with me for a good couple of years. And it made me think. I mean, I don't get me. I love my students, and I want them to, to progress and go on in their career. And there's lots of reasons as to why, the student is with me for a couple of years. But it made me think about. I've encountered over the years quite a few students that are students, and they never seem to kind of come out of the student phase. What about you?
Oh yeah. I talk to people every week that will name many coaches that they have worked with, and well-respected names, colleagues, people that I know and I love in this industry. And then I go, okay, so what have you been booking or what have you been doing? And the answer is surprisingly, well, I've been taking classes. And I go, okay. So we have a little bit of an epidemic in the industry right now with people who are what I call perpetual students. They never quite make the leap. They never quite transition over into being an actual working voice actor. They just sort of stay a student forever.
So let me play devil's advocate here, and let me take it from the teacher's perspective, or from the girl, me, who was a perpetual student all of her life because she just loves to learn. This is one of the reasons why I stayed in education for 20 years, because really I was just that student. I just thought I'd get paid to be a student, and that's why I was a teacher.
There are absolutely people out there who are lifelong learners and really just love the process of being in an educational environment and of being in a class. I respect it. I dig it, whether it's our industry or others. I mean, I've met plenty of other people in other sectors of my life. They're getting another degree. They're getting their master's. They're working on an MBA.
My brother's like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 5 degrees.
Hey, that's cool. If that's your thing, that's great. Where I get worried is when I meet people in voiceover who clearly want to break free from that cycle, and yet they're not. Something is happening. Something is stopping them.
I think that might be fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, they might be looking for something in their classes that will be that, I don't know, that motivation, that light bulb that gives them permission maybe to go out and try to get a job. I mean, I have worked with students who are, I'm like, okay, so are you going to get your website up? Are you going to, think about, direct marketing? And that also is another stalling point for them. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, I want to get better first before I market myself. And so that's a tough call.
Well, the industry itself, we created this animal, if you think about it. It's partially our fault. There's no graduation. There's no degree. There's no certificate. There's no completion. There's never a moment where a person can say, okay, I have done the work. I have earned this.
Yep.
And now I am free to go forward and pursue it as a career. And since we don't have that, it creates a lot of confusion for people where there's this big gray area where, what does everybody say? Oh, you got to be really good before you do this, or you've got to, really have honed your skills before you try to get an agent, or you really shouldn't be on a pay-to-play if you don't know what you're doing.
And not unlike learning on the job, right? I mean, how many jobs did I take in my lifetime where it was like, it's okay, you'll learn that. And as a matter of fact, I was just talking talking to somebody, one of my good friends, colleagues that I used to work with, and he's got a new job, and this is not in voiceover, but he got a new job, and he said, yeah, I'm going to be doing this, and he said, I've never done that before, and I said, oh, don't worry about it, don't stress, you'll be fine, you're a smart guy, and he said, yeah, that's what the employer said too. So there's something to be said for, at one point, you've got to take that jump. You've got to take that risk and just start. And a lot of times it's people are so frantic sometimes to get their demos, but then they don't start, right? We had that episode,
Yeah.
What do you do now that you've got a great demo? What do you do now? This is the same type of thing. People, I think, just want to keep taking classes, keep taking classes, and they just don't want to start marketing themselves because they feel that they haven't graduated, right, to that skill level yet.
And there's also this weird thing of, oh, but I haven't trained with this person yet, and oh, I haven't learned this skill yet, and oh, I haven't done this thing over here yet, and that somehow there's going to be some miraculous moment, some light bulb that goes off that makes all the pieces click. Whereas, I liken it more to, in traditional education, right, whatever degree you're going after, you have core classes and then you have everything else.
Yes.
But if you compare us to, say, medical school, which I know is crazy because, wow, is that a big difference? But still, go with me here for a second.
That's 8 years at least.
Yeah, stay with my crazy journey for just a sec. Anyone who wants to be a doctor, who wants to go to medical school, it's the same thing. You have core classes, you have core requirements, but then there is a specialty. Just because someone's a doctor doesn't mean they're a doctor of every type of medicine.
Exactly.
Of course not. So it's the same thing for us. You have core classes, but just because you're a voice actor doesn't mean you're a voice of everything. It's okay to not have taken an animation class or an imaging class. It's okay to not feel like you haven't experienced it all, because newsflash, guys, been doing it 20 plus years. I haven't experienced it all.
I think when you first start out in this industry, you want to be able to be the voice for everything. And, honestly, it just never just doesn't work that way.
No,
it doesn't work that way in marketing. Remember, we're always talking about target marketing, focused marketing, know your niche, know your genre. It's all about branding. For me, I don't pursue particular genres because first of all, it doesn't bring me joy. Gabby, it's all about the joy. But it's also not my skill set either. However, I am going to, again, be on the side of the students who may be taking classes or coaching with different coaches because they want to experience different genres to see if maybe it's something they will get joy out of, or and just learn for the experience to be able to help enhance their other genre.
All for it. I think that's fantastic. But I also think there's a moment where, as a student, you have to ask yourself, am I really learning a new skill set, or am I simply getting some sort of a psychological evaluation from another coach?
Am I procrastinating?
Yeah, basically, because I find myself doing that a lot. I have whole classes with people that are more of a counseling session than they are a voiceover class.
But it's okay, Gabby, because I'm gonna say in that respect, there's a certain part of it that I feel is okay because any coach,
we all need that sometimes.
Yeah, any coach, it's part of a journey, right?
Yes,
it's part of a journey, and I know that there are people out there. We don't want coaches that coach just for they want our money and that sort of thing. I'm not of that. Of course, I'm not for that, but I do also understand the aspect that a coach can be there for that, right? To coach in areas in addition to, right, just the technique of voiceover. It can be of a career path. It can be a part of the student's journey of self-discovery, of where they belong in the industry, what genres they bring them joy, where they want to go. And I feel that the coaching process and the learning process is definitely a part of that. And I think it's great to take classes with multiple coaches to get all different aspects, all different points of view, all different experiences. However, as you're mentioning too, there can be a time where, okay, at some point you have to jump and you have to get into the industry, and there can be a considerable amount of investment that you're putting into your learning that at some point have the faith to put that into yourself and start the journey.
I'm a big Henry David Thoreau fan, And I have
Me too.
different quotes and things of his all over the place. And something that sits in my booth on the copy stand that says, "What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?"
Yeah, that's a great quote.
And I mean, and he's also the father of Know Thyself. And I feel like it's such an integral part of being a student, right? Being a student still means being in control and being present for your education, not simply waiting for everyone else to tell you what you should do or how or when or why. But it's quite the opposite. You should be going to them saying, "Here's my goal. This is what I want to do."
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You're part of helping me get there.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, though. I mean, we're just a part. For me, it's a joy when people come to me and go, "Yeah, I've got, 3, 4, 5 coaches. Hey, like,
Yeah,
because that tells me that you are broadening your horizons.
Sure.
It tells me that you are.
they're investing
Investing
in their
You're
business.
pursuing this properly. At the same time, please understand that every single coach comes at what they do and the training they offer from their perspective, from their experience. There are so many times that coaches both agree with one another and contradict each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that one's right and one's wrong. It's perspective. It's where our individual journeys have taken us in this industry and how that information is applicable. And so students have to know that and keep that in mind.
Yes, with us being coaches. And I think for me, I take it very seriously, the responsibility that I have as a coach. I'm happy if you want to work with me. I'm not necessarily going to push you away. I have pushed some students away only because they haven't started because of their fear. And I did say to one of my students not so long ago, I said, "I'm not taking more of your money. You need to get to this point. I have faith in you. You're ready. I want you to really believe me. And so therefore, I am not going to take any more of your money until I see that you have done this. Because I know that this is what you want to do, and I know you want to get started. You're just fearful of taking the leap, and I know you can do it. So I won't be a part of taking that.
You kicked him out of the nest.
I did. I
And I
basically
respect
did.
that.
That was tough love because I genuinely care. And I think any coach, any good coach is genuinely, they care about their students and they want them to do their best. And I think that most coaches I would hope they would do the same.
And some will and some won't. But I agree with you. I think those of us who are on the same page and do really care and have a vested interest in student success, we will do that. I do want to caution, much like what you just said, I think about, students you turn away. I find myself right now turning away people that really I can tell they're just looking for me to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me what to do, Gabby. Just give me the keys to the kingdom and tell me exactly how to do all of these things. And I find myself really deterring those individuals from this career path because to me, that doesn't show enough self-guidance and self-motivation that entrepreneurs need, right?
Yes, to run a business.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so that scares me.
Yeah, it's not just about the vocal technique, which we've said over and over and over again. It really has to do with, do you have what it takes and the motivation to run a business? And
to make your own decisions,
yes.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. We have to be able to do that because at some point it's going to be required of us. And honestly, guys, and anybody who tells you otherwise, they're full of crap. We learn so much from the mistakes. We learn so much from the doing, from making a decision, standing by it, and going, well, that didn't work out so well. Maybe I'll do it differently next time.
And it's funny because, Gabby, as long as I've been doing this, I like to just take a step back and just congratulate everyone who has taken the leap of faith to actually be an entrepreneur because it takes so much. And I think I've learned that even more so in the past few months. As I'm making a big life change in moving my business. And so just the fact that you've got to do things that are scary, that you've got to, consider the business in addition to just your vocal performance. You have to consider how are you going to maintain your clients to make all those decisions, those big scary decisions, and, look at money, figures and numbers. And it's just congratulations to all of you that have gotten to the point where you are here as an entrepreneur because it's not easy.
Raise
it's
a
hard.
Big cup of highly caffeinated coffee to you.
That's right.
Yes.
And me too. Right now, I need coffee. But yes, everybody, congratulations getting to this point. We have faith in you that you can get to the next level. And a lot of that's going to just take courage, gumption, and doing it. And listen to your coaches as they talk to you about your performance and, encourage you to be the best that you can be in this business.
Listen to your gut. Know yourself, know where your strengths and weaknesses lie, and adjust accordingly. But yeah, guys, at some point, it's a leap. Coaches are wonderful in that you pay them to help you avoid mistakes that they have already made, and they can help you to navigate some of those pitfalls and
answer some of those questions.
Yeah,
that you may have.
Advance yourself in that way.
Yes.
But there will always be a pitfall. There will always be a challenge. There will always be something, and you have to expect that no amount of coaching is going to prepare you for all of them.
And no amount of coaching is going to force you to take the leap. You have to do it yourself. And I think that is really the ultimate goal that we hope that you get to. Are you a perpetual student or are you an entrepreneur? Right? We want you guys to be entrepreneurs. So we're here to help you in any way that we can. Go, bosses. Go forth and be boss. There you go. I'd like to give a big shout out to one of my favorite bosses in the industry, and that is my good friend Kevin over there at IPDTL. You too can communicate, network like a boss, and record like a boss with IPDTL.com. Find out more at the website.
Plus, we've got Matt Dubois and the whole team over at voiceovers.com who are kicking ass, taking names, and getting us auditions.
And people are booking.
It's a slow and steady thing. They're such a great example of what we're talking about here, in that, Rome was not built in a day, but damn it was built, and that's what they're doing. Fair, efficient, honest, transparent. Voiceovers.com. Go check them out.
Okay, guys, have a great week. Go forth and be bosses, and we'll see you next week. Woo. Bye.
Join us next week for another edition of VO Boss with your hosts Ann Ganguzza and Gabby Nistico. All rights reserved. Ann Ganguzza voice talent in association with 3 Moon Media. Redistribution with permission. Coast-to-coast connectivity via IPDTL.
Okay, I'm going to bring my coffee into the booth, and then
that's a great idea.
What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about life changes, big life changes, or
I think addressing the whole, working from home and how to all of it, everything you're going through right now. I think it's great.
You don't understand. I have to live in a staged house now. I can barely keep the coffee maker on the.
No, I know. All right, let us record things.
All right, we shall. We shall.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready to just kind of dive into it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go.
There's not enough coffee for me in the world today.
So, Gabby, I've been fasting, right? Intermittent fasting. So I'm drinking my coffee black now.
Good for
black
you.
With stevia. So,
ugh.
I still like it to be a little sweet.
Ugh.
But it's really helps me to taste the coffee and really discern what flavor
the
do
notes.
I like? Is it full bodied? Is it bitter? Is it
Tell me more about the full body, Dan.
Full bodied coffee. Yes. Full bodied. Somebody the other day was talking to me and they said, I just play your outtake. Oh, her students from Syracuse University. Every once in a while I'm a guest speaker. She's like, I play your outtakes for the class.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know.
Great. So I made it to Syracuse and that's how. Awesome.
Exactly.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's just... She goes, the students love the outtakes.
Amazing.
I'm like, great.
Well, they are really f***ing good, so,
Part of a journey for someone to help self-discover who they are in this industry, and where they might want to go.
Hold on. Back that up.
That was the most beautiful take, Gabby, and your dog
I know.
barked.
I know. My dog's
I don't even remember what I just said. You sound like a chipmunk that is on, freaking crack. Say something really funny. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
Welcome, everybody, to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Ann Ganguzza, along with my BO boss, my BO boss.
Boob boss,
your boob boss, my boob boss.
Bibbity boppity boo boss.
My bow boss. You're my bow boss, girl.
Bow, like a...
Could you tell I had a little tune in my head? I almost rapped. Rapped.
I would love to hear you rap. That would be tragic and funny all at the same time.
Do you rap? I want to hear it. Okay.
No, I don't rap.
Tragic and funny at the same time. Boss. All right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I just can't get out of my mind. Boss. Okay. All right. It's like 7 or 8 pictures during the day. That kind of shows what you do like a boss. And we post it for you on Instagram.
Great. I can do
We
that.
want pictures
definitely.
of lots of clogs.
Yeah.
All the clogs.
Clogs.
And then...
And me and my PJs, right?
There you go.
Yes, of
Making
course.
money. Well, that's good. We'll talk about that more. I'm going to let Paul in.
Okay, bring me the Dutchman.
Bring me the Dutchman.
I've always wanted to say that. You have to teach us how to say like a boss
Oh, yeah.
in your native.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, in Dutch.
Yes.
Boss is baas.
Baas.
And like a boss is als een baas.
Als een baas.
Baas, yes.
Baas.
Als een baas.
Als een baas.
I love that.
I got to write
Cool.
that down. I'm writing it down. Wait.
We're recording it, silly pants.
When I just start talking incontrollably, which I can easily do, just stop me and bring me
gotcha.
back to the question.
No problem.
We'll reel you in. We'll reel
We
you
will.
in.
And
I
you
need
can
that.
say whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you want. There's no there's no rules. And is there anything that you don't want to talk about, just so we know?
No, not at all. No, apart from that one thing I did when I was very young. No.
Okay, good. We won't talk about that. I read about that on the
usually-
internet, but
Yeah, I saw pictures too. Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's so.
Well,
Or the
if
dog.
and then there's that.
And then there's the
Well,
dog.
you got the dog. I have the grand piano right above me because my wife has her music studio. She teaches flute and piano.
Oh.
And this is during one of the times that she
have to kick
gives
her
her
out. I'll be right
lessons.
back.
I used to play the organ as well. My dad was a minister. We're just talking about church already. I don't know. We got
That's an
there about
unexpected
singing
twist.
in the choir. Yeah.
So, can you up your
It's fine. Yeah, I did a little
Up
bit.
yours.
up your
Up
headphones?
yours.
Up your
Come on.
headphones.
I did. Up my headphones.
You
I
up
did.
your headphones. How if I get closer? All
I
right.
just need to know if you can still hear her, because I kicked her out. But
Oh no!
she's still being a bit... Okay, hopefully she
I
stays
don't hear
quiet.
I thought you were talking about me. You kicked the bitch
No.
out. Well,
No, the dog. The dog from hell.
Paul, sometimes there's language here. Just saying.
Sometimes.
We won't use it towards you or during the podcast. And if we do, Gabby bleeps it out.
Good idea.
But only because it's funny, not because we have to. You know I'm driving the bus to hell, so I have no idea why you're surprised or anything. You're
Shall we
riding
start?
shotgun. Yes.
Shall we? You're riding
Let's
shotgun. Okay, so we're just going to start.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's see. How am I going to start this? Let's see. Okay.
I know, it's been forever. Do you remember how?
Do I even remember what the name of the podcast is?
I don't know. Do you?
Okay.